All right, welcome back. In episode one, I finally hit record and told you that I'm manifesting this multi-million dollar business in public. A lot of tech founders I have found share little bits and pieces of their journey online, but very few people are crazy enough to build this kind of business with these kinds of intentions, brick and mortar style, to build this in public. So from pitch decks to investor rejections to the legal side and the financials, that's what I'm going to do here. So today for this episode, I'm going to walk you through the actual investor pitch deck for Moat. This is the same one that I send to real investors. I'm going to show you the concept and why I believe this idea deserves to exist. I'm not going to hit every single slide, but I am going to walk you through the ones that tell the core story. All right, so here we go. This is más. In Spanish, más means more, and that's literally the whole point of this concept. More connection, more culture, more flavor, more music, and more life. The tagline is fork and frequency. It's a play on fork being food, obviously, fork also being choice. I believe that everything is energy, so more specifically, vibration and frequency. What we listen to, what we eat, the spaces that we're in. So Mas is designed as a place where food, music, and art are intentionally tuned to make you feel good, to make you feel whole, satiated, and inspired. And I can tell you, I can unequivocally affirm the undeniable science behind vibrational energy. But I'm not going to get into a tangent on that now. Suffice it to say, right now we're building a 75,000 square foot experiential cultural marketplace. Think global food hall, art gallery, and live music venue all rolled into one, but done in a way that still feels warm, soulful, and accessible. This is a place that celebrates life, wellness, and connection. Okay, so everything starts with the problem. What is the problem that we are solving? The problem here is that dining is broken. You really just have three options when it comes to going out to eat. The first is going to be food without vibe. This is your casual dining segment, including your fast casual like Chipotle, traditional casual like Chili's or Applebee's, and even your upscale casual like PF Chang's or the Cheesecake Factory. The food might be good, but the energy is flat. Then you have places that are more focused on delivering what I call the ambiance dynamic, which is your music, retail, and other food concepts like the Hard Rock, Dave and Buster's, Planet Hollywood. I can go on. And we can lump these into the second bucket, which is experience without substance. You get novelty but no soul. And then finally, you have your grocery first concepts like your Wegmans or your Publix, where they're sticking restaurants in these things now. And these are completely functional but devoid of ambiance. It's complete retail fluorescent daytime energy. On the other side, you've got other places where you can, of course, grab food. You can, get food anywhere really, at an art show, a concert, some other live events, but these are all separate, of course. The other gap is that so many borrow from cultures, but they don't really honor them. So you'll get like a global menu with 3 countries and a playlist that has nothing to do with the food. It's all just very surface level. The bottom line here is that there are no places that intentionally fuse food, music, culture, and storytelling, chef driven storytelling into one cohesive experience. So what ends up happening is that people inevitably end up chasing. You end up bouncing between 3 or 4 different spots just to have one complete experience. Dinner here, show there, nightcap somewhere else. Why? Because people are chasing. So oftentimes, what ends up happening is that in order to have one complete night, a night that's immersive, you want to people watch, you want to take in a live performance, have a drink, joke, laugh, mingle, flirt, explore. You end up going to multiple places. There's no question about it because honestly, you want all these things. You want music, performance. You're chasing art, soulful expression. You want dazzle. You want the story. You don't want the same old, same old. And what are people really chasing? They're chasing just that, a story, something new, something to learn. We can sum it up by saying that they're chasing a feeling. Okay, this is our solution slide. We are going to fill that gap by creating a soulful cultural marketplace, a place where you can taste the world, hear the world, and actually learn the stories behind the dishes, the music, and the people, where it's delivered with honesty and cultural integrity. Instead of bouncing between 3 or 4 places to cobble together one night out, Mas puts everything under one roof and offers a complete experience. It's a one-stop night out. You get chef-driven dining, live music, and cultural art and retail all in a single venue. No hopping, no multiple Ubers, no friction. The big idea is simple. One building, multiple worlds, all under a unifying philosophy of food and frequency. Think Italy, but for the diaspora. This is an immersive global food and cultural marketplace organized by regions of the world with music and storytelling at the center. When you walk into Mas, you're not just picking a restaurant, you're picking a journey. Each zone has its own food, its own curated soundscape, its own art, and its own vibe. Because it's all integrated, we capture the full wallet. A guest might come in for dinner, stay for a live set, then leave with a bottle, a piece of art, or something from the market. It's one unified checkout with higher average spend and a much richer experience. From there, we build habit and community. We're not a one and done theme night. We run weekly programming, rotating regions, live performances, and a digital passport that rewards you for exploring new zones. So people come back, bring their friends, and start to treat Mas as their spot. And this isn't just a one-off. It is a scalable playbook. This is designed to scale. Modular menus, rotating artist residencies, partner MOUs, and a format that can be replicated in cultural districts around the country. Across the top, you see how it all comes together from the food, the entertainment, and the retail. Starting with the food, we're going to offer the world's most loved cuisines from quick bites like empanadas and samosas to more immersive dining options with ancestral cooking, techniques like using parrillas and fogones, tagines, and with storytelling and wellness at its core. Entertainment with live sets and curated soundscapes with ticketed events layered in. And retail, talking specialty grocery, cultural wares, locally sourced art that you can actually take home. At the end of the day, Mas is a soulful cultural marketplace that turns food into an experience and a guest into a loyal fan. Okay, so here is our product slide. This slide shows the flow of the space. I wanted Mas to feel almost like a grand central station for culture. The idea is that every zone feels distinct, but the overall space feels unified and intentional. Think of the most fantastic food hall that you may have been to, filled with art and the unique smells and sounds for each region, with every path leading to a zone that we call discovery, which is a fusion of taste and sound. Around the perimeter of each UNESCO-inspired region, you can grab quick bites and drinks that are especially curated for that region, and you can socialize and explore the market casually through a sip and shop experience, or you can experience more immersive dining options. But the highlights are these: zoned exploration across 5 regions with discovery at the core of the market, plus a final region for reflection that we call creme and cognition, each with tailored food, music, and decor, authentic cooking techniques and styles that actually honor cultural traditions in a semi-open kitchen style. So this is culture that you can see and smell, not just taste, with complete immersion, live music, scents, rotating decor, and art for a total multisensory experience, and of course with a focus on community and wellness. Traditional remedies and tonics, herbs and spices complement health-forward menu options with locally sourced and responsibly grown ingredients. And on the community side, cooking classes and local artist showcases. All right, so this is a continuation of the product slide, mainly because I had more talking to do and I didn't want people staring at the same slide for so long. What I'd like to talk through here is a bit more of the flow and the unique offerings. First off, think of the vibe and the I made it energy of a place like Hakkasan in Las Vegas, which is a quite popular spot. If you've ever been there, I don't know. But imagine that level of intentionality and curation, but designed for everyday people, wrapped in soul, story, and community. That's what we're going for here. Now, as you can see, our 5 UNESCO-inspired regional zones are Europe and North America, Latin America and the Caribbean, Asia and the Pacific, Africa, and the Med. For a really quick tour, you enter through the European table, which is warm, it's light, familiar, and approachable. Think Aperol spritzes, European wines, charcuterie boards, pizza slices, Spanish tapas, and market samples. This space welcomes you and it sets the table. There's soft sounds and light music pervading the space. From there, you step into the American Central Marketplace, which is the hub. It's fresh produce, everyday staples, a bourbon and soul bar around a live stage, a combination of soul, hip hop, jazz, R&B fused to perfection, a pure American vibe. Off of that hub, you can explore zones like Latin America and the Caribbean, and the focus here is on the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Jamaica, Mexico, and Peru. Big flavors, wood-fired foods, and high energy. Now, let me take this moment to mention something very important. We want to focus on only the most commercially viable cuisines. The world is a big place, and we don't intend to be everything for everyone. Moving on to Africa, the focus here is on Nigeria, Ethiopia, South Africa, and Morocco. Bold spices, communal, super vibrant with a live DJ. 6 countries are featured in Asia, and the focus here is on the countries of China, Japan, Korea, Thailand, Vietnam, and India. From ramen and sushi to Korean barbecue and curry, plus a karaoke corner for fun. In the Med, we focus primarily on Greece, Turkey, and the Levant. Meze-style platters, olives, fresh, health-forward, and social, with a juice bar. And then our 2 zones that have no specific regional inspiration. When I did my first pitch, Justin compared Mas to Krog Street Market in Atlanta, which he told me has sturdy, fantastic financials, by the way. And he was right about the food hall DNA. But these zones here are where we break out of that box. In Discovery, we have rotating niche cuisines that can lead to indigenous food stories where chefs teach, explain, entertain, and cook live. Storytelling and learning at its best. And then creme in cognition, a reflective space that's made to feel inclusive and intimate, where folks can partake in post-meal traditional desserts from the aforementioned countries, digestives like cognacs, ports, coffees, teas, and other regional mixtures paired with relaxing music and the crackle of vinyl, reflective rhythms and chill vibes from around the globe. To crystallize everything, here is the brand positioning slide, which shows exactly where Mas sits, right in the white space that's both highly experiential and highly cultural. Most of the big names on this map hit one or the other. Mas is built to own both. Hakkasan type places hit experience. Krog style food halls hit variety. Mas is intentionally built to live in that white space that's both high experience and deeply cultural, and to dominate it. We are playing at the intersection of a few huge markets: global food and beverage, entertainment, and experiential dining. You've got concepts like Italy showing that there's massive demand for destination food halls. You've got places like Seed to Table, which is in Naples, Florida, and the Hard Rock in a variety of places, proving that people will travel and spend for a full night experience, not just a meal. Mas sits in a new hybrid lane. It's not a typical restaurant, not a nightclub, not a museum. It's an experiential cultural marketplace anchored in food and music. That opens up multiple revenue streams and makes this concept scalable to major markets around the world. We're building something that locals can love year round, but that also feels like a must visit destination for travelers. Now, let me tell you about why this can't be copied by just throwing a DJ into a food hall. This slide is about our competitive advantage called the Moat, right? These are the shields that make Mas hard to copy and worth scaling. So I'm just going to talk about just a few of these. The first shield is what I call our cultural operating system. Mas is not just a DJ and some flags on the wall. It's a programmed living ecosystem. So every zone has curated soundtracks, rituals, and stories behind the food. The discovery zone rotates countries and themes. We're teaching, storytelling, and building emotional connection, not just serving plates. Most concepts would stop at vibe. We're building IP. That's intellectual property. Playlists, storylines, seasonal programs, chef residencies. That's the engine you can't knock off in a weekend build-out. Even if somebody copies the floor plan, they don't have the soul or the system that sits on top of it. So when you walk through Mas, you're not just hearing Afro beats or reggaeton, you're hearing a story. Why this dish? Why this rhythm? Why this region? That is our cultural OS. That's operating system. For the second shield, community and partnerships are baked into the model, not an afterthought. From day one, we're designing Mas to plug into local artists, local nonprofits, cultural organizers, and touring brands like Art Beats and Lyrics. Art on the walls will be for sale with a revenue share that actually favors the artist. Programming in the discovery zone can be co-led with community partners, like the people at Four Roots. That means Mas doesn't just show up in a city, it roots into that city. And when you're rooted in real relationships, you don't get replaced by the next shiny food hall. You become part of that cultural fabric. And that's a moat you can't build with copy and paste decor. The third shield is our operational blueprint and scalable design. This whole thing is designed to be modular and repeatable. Multiple zones, different day parts, chef rotations, discovery pop-ups, but all under one operating system and one P&L. That's profit and loss statement. It's one business. We're not improvising the chaos of a night market. We're engineering flow, staffing, and margins so the experience feels wild and free to the guest, but it is actually very controlled behind the scenes. That's what will allow us to replicate Mas from any city, from Orlando to other cities, without losing the integrity of the experience. Anyone can copy the look. Very few can copy the playbook. The fourth shield is the tech and data layer that extends Mas beyond the brick and mortar walls. We're not just counting covers and tickets. we're building relationships. Think of a digital loyalty passport system that's tied to the regions that you've explored, the music that you've liked, curated playlists that you can take home, and a data layer that extends and tells us what resonates in each city. That will let us do two things. It'll keep people connected to Mas even when they're not in the building, and constantly refine what we serve, the food, the music, the programming, based on real behavior, not guesses, and that's how this becomes a platform, excuse me, not just a restaurant. So when you zoom out, our moat isn't cool decor plus a DJ. It's a cultural operating system rooted in real community, running on a replicable operating model and extended by technology. That combination is what makes Mas scalable, profitable, and very hard to knock off with a copycat food hall. Okay, so why now? We are at a really specific moment in time where a concept like this is not just cool, it is necessary. First, people have shifted away from buying stuff to buying experiences. Coming out of COVID, you can feel it. If we're leaving the house, it better mean something. We want nights that feel memorable, Instagrammable, and emotionally satisfying, not just another plate under fluorescent lights. Second, global culture has gone mainstream. All you got to do is look at TikTok, Spotify, Netflix. The fact is that Afro beats, K-pop, Latin trap, anime, Korean barbecue, pho, or my daughter told me it's pho. Everything is regular life now. People aren't scared of foreign, quote unquote, anymore. They're craving it. So Mas sits right on that wave. One night, one venue, and you can eat here and feel the world. Third, real estate and cities are starving for anchors. Big boxes are dying. That's, your traditional retail shops, J.C. Penney's and the like. Traditional retail is struggling, and landlords, they're actively hunting for experiential concepts that can pull people in for hours and not minutes. Mas is designed to be that cultural anchor. Food, music, art, retail, all under one roof with programming that actually changes over time. And finally, the tech layer that I talked about makes this moment different than, say, 10 years ago. Today, we can extend the experience beyond our four walls. So we have digital passports, playlists, content, and data. So Mas doesn't just live in one place. It lives on your phone, your headphones, and in your social feeds. You put all that together and you get this. 10 years ago, we would have been early. 10 years from now, this space is going to be crowded. Right now is the window to define the category. And that is Mas, a soulful cultural marketplace being built from nothing in public with no safety net. If this resonated with you, I'm going to ask you for two different kinds of support. First, for everybody watching, if you want to see this thing go from slide deck to reality, please help me by hitting subscribe, like the video, and drop a comment with your city and what zone you would beeline to first. Asia, Africa, Latin America, the Med, or the Discovery Zone. Drop me any question you might have, please, or just even drop a line to say hello. I'm documenting this whole journey. As I said, the wins, the mistakes, the investor meetings, the legal stuff, the pop-ups, all of it. Your engagement is actually going to help me a ton and might even help me get this in front of the right people. Second, for investors, for operators, and partners, if you see the opportunity here as an anchor concept, as a platform, as an asset that you'd want in your portfolio, in your building, I'd love to talk. You can reach me directly. My email is in the description below, jose@masdining.com. Hit the description below to view the details and join the interest list. Especially looking for angel investors who get culture and hospitality, strategic partners in real estate, food and beverage and entertainment, and brands and creatives who want to plug into this ecosystem. My commitment is simple. I am going to keep building this episode by episode, brick by brick, with full transparency. If you believe the world needs more spaces like this, where food, music, and culture actually mean something, then build it with me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in episode 3.